All right, welcome to the Sports Social Club hosted by Alex and Jess. I am Alex,
I'm Jess.
and we are here to talk about anything going on in sports now, in the past, what we like, what we don't like, all of it.
Mhm.
First thing we could talk about, Deebo Samuel, big trade
Heck
in
yeah.
the NFL. I was seeing some stuff that like maybe it's not officially official yet, but
Yeah, yeah. It's not until March
anyway.
13th. March
Oh, okay.
13th. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So yeah, Deebo Samuel, who has been with the San Francisco 49ers since he was drafted, so he's been with them since the 2019 season, is now getting traded to the Washington Commanders.
Mhm.
Jess, what are your initial thoughts on that?
I am so happy for them. I think it's wonderful. I wish we had done it because they traded a fifth for him.
Yeah.
And we got the Cowboys. We got Jonathan Mingo from the Panthers for a fourth. Jonathan
Um,
Mingo, if anyone knows, is terrible. He's from Ole
Nothing.
Miss. He's
Yeah.
dookie. He's not a good wide receiver. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Deebo
John.
is amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, Deebo compared to Jonathan Mingo, not equal
Not equal at
comparisons.
all. Not equal.
No.
It's like me compared to I don't Mia Hamm in soccer. It's just not comparable.
I don't know if it's that big of a difference, but
Okay, Abby Wambach, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's a difference to where it's like for them to. I know the big thing was that the Commanders would pay because Debo's meant for like a $21 million like year this year,
sure.
and so the Commanders were willing to pay it, but for a fifth, I'm like that is a steal. Like
That's crazy.
anyone could take. I mean, we should have taken that, but.
Yeah.
I mean, now at least now the Commanders, I think they have a chance to go all the way next year with
You
this.
think so?
Yeah, he's like a Swiss Army knife, and to have that, and also have Scary Terry McLaurin that he has, and then have Robinson as the running back. I mean, you got what you
A
need.
lot of weapons there.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a great trade.
I don't think there was any other huge NFL trades.
No, everyone's trying to figure out where Sam Darnold's going to go.
Mm.
If he's going to
I
stay with the Vikings, but he's probably not.
I briefly saw something, I think this was a couple weeks ago, that they were like other teams were trying to get Kyler Murray to come to them,
Hmm.
but I don't think, but they didn't know if he was going to leave
The
Arizona or
midget.
not.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate Kyler Murray so much. Forever will hate
Speaking
him.
speaking of Kyler Murray, who went to Texas A&M,
Yeah.
last night Oklahoma State, repping the hat,
Ooh.
beat number one Texas A&M in baseball.
Beat
Shut them
Texas
out.
A&M.
What? Yeah. What
Always
is
on
this
top.
combo you're
Always
wearing
on
there?
top. Well, I always rep this, but for Henry, I have to
Sure.
put that
sure.
on for pity. So
Right.
since
Right.
we beat them so
Normally-
bad.
Normally put a sweatshirt over top, so it's
Exactly.
like you're wearing it, but nobody knows.
Yeah, no one knows ever. It's really just my sweatshirt. So I mean,
Right.
But,
But yeah,
Huge
OSU
win.
baseball beat them 4-0. I saw that was the first time they've beat a number one team since 2022,
Mm.
and since Josh Holiday has been the coach there, that is their I think fifth win over a number one ranked team.
It's amazing.
So
He's
that's
such a
cool.
great coach.
It's they're. I mean, obviously it's early in the season, but the fact that they
Yeah.
can do that, shut them out, on the
Yeah.
road in this like away series, kind of like the Globe Life Park series, but they were down
Yeah.
in Houston. So that was huge. I watched a little bit of it, not a ton. I fell asleep.
Yeah, I can't believe it was on the Astros YouTube channel.
I know.
Stupid. I was on ESPN, like ESPN Plus. Like, where is this thing?
I was like, the number of things they put on ESPN Plus, and they can't put this on there.
No, we got cornhole, everything else, but not this. Not a
Yeah.
great game, but yeah, no, that it's amazing. And A&M baseball, like they lost to was it Tennessee a few days ago? I mean,
Mhm.
they're going down. They're
Good.
going down fast.
I'm always
So-
down for an A&M loss.
Their basketball team looks pretty good, but they lost as well last night. So
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
said you were watching them last night. Who were they playing?
yeah, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, they lost to Florida, which was like that. I mean, Florida's really good this year, but like that was like, oh, dude, like they're just sliding.
Yeah.
So
I was watching a little bit of the OSU Baylor basketball game because we turned it on and it was like OSU was winning. I was like, OSU's winning? It's like, wow. And then they weren't anymore. I said,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yep. No, they should have won that game. I recently had a patient's family member who's a huge Baylor basketball fan, and we talked about it last week. And they were like, "Oh, do y'all think y'all are going to beat us because we're so bad this year?" And I was like, "No, you don't realize we have the poke choke. We are gonna lose, man. Don't ever think you're gonna beat us. Like you will win."
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
come in with confidence and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
I know. We need to get back to like our Marcus Smart era.
Oh God, yes. And Travis Ford, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
who I think he's the coach at St. Louis right now, but yeah,
Phil
no.
Forte.
Phil Forte, God,
Man.
those were the days. We were
When we were
good.
there. When we were
And then,
there.
when we had Cade Cunningham, that was
Mm-hmm.
great afterwards. I mean, he's an all-star this year, so
Yeah, but I mean, he was only there for what, a year?
yeah, for 1
Yeah,
year.
because he was so good. He's
But he
like,
was so
well, see
good.
you later.
Yep. But he still reps us. I do like that.
Yeah.
I like he's not like Kentucky grads like that are
Mm-hmm.
one and done. Like he actually does rep us, and Coach Boynton goes and sees him play up in Detroit since Coach Boynton coaches at Michigan. So it's pretty awesome.
That's nice of him.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's going on. OSU women's is looking great as we're about to enter into the Big 12 Conference Championship.
Nice.
So it's awesome.
Coming up in about like a week and a half or so.
Yep.
Because we're going to, my family's coming into town next weekend, and so we're going to go to the last regular season game for University of Washington. They're playing Oregon. Big game.
Huge.
Big rivalry.
Huge.
Senior night.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's their last home game, or I guess their last regular season game before they go into Big Ten tournament. So
Heck yeah.
Should be
That'd be
cool.
awesome. God, it's
Yeah.
weird having them be Big Ten. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I remember I was working like a baseball camp for them last summer, and it was when they had the Big Ten transition. Like it was, they were coming into the Big Ten. And so like in their baseball stadium, they had like pieces of the wall were taken out where it had the Pac-12 logo.
Oh my
and
God.
then like the next day came in, put in the Big Ten logo.
That's so crazy.
Just a quick
Oh.
rebrand.
Of course. Oh God. To be an athlete having to fly across the nation for that'd be
I
crazy.
know.
I would not want to do it.
I can't imagine some of these travel schedules, and like with Stanford and Cal in the ACC, like
Yep.
the only spot in between the East and West Coast is SMU since
Yeah.
they came into the ACC. So I bet anytime the California teams get to play at SMU, they're like, thank God we don't
Yeah.
have to cross the entire country to
For
get
real.
there.
Like it's crazy how many athletes like Cal and UCLA and USC and Stanford all lost because they're having to travel across all these time zones, and it's like let's say you're in softball and you got to play on a Sunday, and then you got to rush back, do homework on the flight, and like I mean it's the schedule, and then play again in 2 days.
Mhm.
Like the schedule's just too crazy, and so they lost a lot of athletes.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if the people who made these decisions just like weren't thinking, or they were just like, no, like we have to do this, whatever, but it's like the only team that it doesn't affect as much is football.
Yep.
And because they only play once a week. And so they're probably like, oh, like it'll be fine, they only play once a week, whatever. It's like, what about the sports like soccer, basketball, baseball, softball, that are tennis, that are playing multiple times a week?
Yeah.
Whether they're home, they're away. It's like now you're having these teams go on like week plus, 10 days, 14 days away road trips because it's not worth it for them to come all the way back home and then go out again. So they're on the road for significant amounts of time.
Yeah.
Almost all of them are going to have to be in like all online classes
Mhm.
because they're going to miss all in-person classes and then they're going to end up failing. And so
Yeah.
I bet that puts so much stress on all of those athletes. It's probably
Definitely.
insane.
And I remember when they were discussing like how they were going to do it, because they were like, well, why don't we just make football do this and keep the rest, kind of like in wrestling, where wrestling, there's only a few conferences that actually do it. And so they compete, but some of them might be in different, like, I think it's like Alabama is in the Big 12 for wrestling. Like there's different ones.
Yeah.
And so, people are talking about, why don't they do that? Like, and have football just do its own thing and then have the rest of the sports stay how they did. That way they didn't have to have this happen. But it was like the money share and all of it was just too much. It's like, no one thought about this.
No.
I mean, football's great, but like there's so many other sports that it's impacted.
They definitely could have done it. Because like with wrestling, like hockey is the same way. There's a lot of hockey teams that like for example, Omaha, all of their sports are in the Summit League, but hockey is in the NCHC. So it's like, it can be done. Y'all can get a single sport into a different conference, but
like gymnastics. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm sure like 90% of the decision was money.
Yep.
So
for sure.
Unfortunate for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Other big news, Diana Taurasi, WNBA legend, retired.
Yep.
spent her entire 20-year career with the Phoenix Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
She was, back in the days when UConn was, dynasty level.
Yep.
She got drafted from them. She was number one overall pick. Um, and I was looking at just like her like Wikipedia page of like all the things she's done. And it's just like it goes on and on and on of everything that she's done, whether it's college, pro, overseas, the Olympics, everything. I think it said she's won gold in the Olympics in, I think it was 2004, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24.
That's insane.
I was like, that's wild. It's like not only like yes, you're good enough to like be on the team to be getting gold, but it's like for so many years, like 20 years of playing professional sports is insane.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really
and it's
is
not
amazing.
like, oh, golf or something like
Yeah.
that. That's not super hard on your body. Like,
Yeah.
especially, like she's playing in the Olympics, she's playing overseas, she's playing in the WNBA, she's playing all these other times. So it's not like, oh, people say, oh, the WNBA, like they only play in the summer. Like, no.
No,
She's probably playing essentially year round.
These ladies do. Yeah, they play year round. And the European League is so, I mean, that's very taxing on their body. I mean, they play way harder in the European League than they do in the WNBA. And so for her to even keep up that consistency and level of greatness all year round for that long, I mean, amazing. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's for sure getting drafted in WNBA Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I bet Phoenix Mercury retires her number.
Yep.
Did UConn retire her number?
I think they retired her number a few years ago. Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever they can do to honor Diana Taurasi, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Give her a statue somewhere.
God, like definitely, she's fantastic, and it's crazy to think of what she has seen, because she's seen the WNBA grow from what it started out being, like even back when Dawn Staley was a player. Like it's just like to see it take over all these things where like these ladies were practicing in high school gyms to now where they're at, where even like the Phoenix Mercury's really, I mean, they've done so great with their athletics. And so I think she's seen this entire thing grow. And I know people started hating her for how she viewed Caitlin Clark, but I mean, I wouldn't blame her if I was one of the greatest. And I had this little girl coming in here who's famous, I mean, she's trying to be a vet player. That's how it is.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine how much her, even just like within like just basketball, how much her life has changed from when she started in 2004 until now when she's retired. Like how much, like, obviously like facility wise, money wise, whatever they have available, but just even how the game has changed in the last 20 years. Like she's probably been, if she looked at how she plays the game now, how they practice, all that kind of stuff, she's probably like, this is so different than how I started 20 years ago. So
definitely. No,
I wonder what she's going to do now. Do you think she'll coach?
I don't think she'll coach. I think, I don't know. I think she'll coach. If she does, it would be in a few years. I think now she's probably just going to chill, kind of do what, oh God, what's her name? Sue does, and kind of Sue Bird, and just go around and like be courtside at games and like just kind of enjoy it for a bit. Yeah. Just enjoy it for a bit. And then I bet she'll probably get into coaching. If not coaching, then some kind of mentorship or training.
Yeah. Maybe even like, I don't know, maybe like some sort of like GM or some sort of like overseeing role.
Yep. And I could definitely honestly see Diana Taurasi being like on the, like even either ESPN or something, to where she's an analyst and doing things. Cause she's so smart, and she's great when she breaks down. Her and Sue Bird both were great when they would have their like little shows that they would do together, and they can just talk basketball. And it's so, I mean, it's like Tom Brady explaining football. It's just, it can be so top notch. And they're not robots like Tom Brady. So it works out even more.
That's awesome. So I'm excited to see kind of what she does, I wonder, what all went into her decision in terms of retiring. Like, obviously she's been playing for a crazy long time. Like, was it just the fact that, hey, I've been playing for 20 years, like I'm done? Or even if maybe it was a little bit like, you know what? Like I spent so much time here. I did so much in the WA. Like it's time for me to like move on and like let this whole new group of like younger generation come in and start doing their thing. So
yeah, I could see it being both, especially with BG leaving the Mercury. I think it's kind of like, okay, time's over, and now it's time to go to retirement home.
other than that, I think those were the two. Deebo and Diana Taurasi were the two, I think, biggest like breaking news highlights, whatever this week. But F1, you
Mm-hmm.
big F1 person,
Yes.
you and Henry both, and
Oh,
obviously Cody too. They're getting ready to start up. When is the
yep.
first race of the season?
It's in March. It's like the end of March, and so we got time, but it's
Well, we're
coming.
in March now.
Oh yeah, we are. Oh my God,
March
as of yesterday.
March 2nd, yeah.
Yes. So in a few weeks, it'll start up, and this is going to be such an exciting season. Perez is gone, thank you Lord. So Red Bull's going to be fun with Lawson, and then you got uh, oh gosh, what's his name? Signs at Williams.
Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of shifts, and so this is going to be really fun. Hamilton's at Ferrari.
I was about to say Lewis Hamilton switched to a different team,
Yeah,
right?
he's at Ferrari, so that'll be exciting to see. And so how he works with Charles Leclerc, and so it'll be a lot of fun. I'm so excited. This is gonna be
I'm
great.
just interested to see if Max Verstappen doesn't win every race.
I have a feeling. I mean, I have a feeling he won't. And if he does, if he wins this year, though, I mean, they're about to have another shift in like in all of the oh gosh, what's it called? Like the engineering and everything where they change out engines and everything in the next like 2 years. And so, and that's when like Audi's coming in. And so if he wins this year, I don't see him winning years afterwards, but also he's going to retire soon. He's always talked about how he wants to do other kind of racing. And so if he wins one more, I mean, he might be just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I doubt he'll win as much as he did last year.
Did he say what other kinds of racing he wants to do?
He wants to do Derby. That's a huge
Okay.
one. He was really big on that. He wanted to try Indy, and so he's really big on also the online racing, the sim
Oh my
racing.
gosh.
He's huge in that, and so
Does he have one of those like massive like simulators in his house with like a
Yes.
fancy chair, multiple screens, all that stuff?
Yes, like, and he does. He always streams, and so he'll always be in his chair doing it. And like he talks about how like he's like sometimes sim racing is harder than real racing, and I'm like,
It's crazy.
what? I'm like, you have all these like G forces like coming at you when
Yeah.
you're in a real race, but like sim, it's like, but I don't know. So I don't know. I guess because everyone can sim or everyone can try to sim race, so there's more comp. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
so
You only
it'll
get
be
so
interesting.
many people who are actually real life F1 racers
Exactly.
going against you.
Exactly. The same ones. So yeah, this will be really fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk more about it in a few weeks when it gets started.
Yeah. Yeah, F1 is interesting. I feel like as an American, especially because there's so much international races. And you know what? There's only like maybe two or three that are actually in the U.S.
Three,
So
yeah.
if you want to be like a big F1 fan as an American, you got to be making some sacrifices as to when you're waking up and
You're
going to sleep
getting
to be able
up.
to watch these races.
You are getting up, that's for sure. We like, I mean, there's days where we've gotten up at 7, we've gotten up at 6. Anytime it's like earlier than 6, we're like, we tape it and we'll watch it when we wake up because
Cody
we're
will
like,
watch
I
it.
can't do it. He'll get up for that.
He's like, there's times when I'll like randomly like get up and it's like, you know, like I'll wake up and it's like 5 a.m. and he's like watching on his phone.
Oh my
And I'm like,
God.
oh my God, you psycho.
Heck no.
He's more likely to wake up and watch like, even if it's not the beginning, like even catch parts of the morning race.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get some that are starting at like 3, 4 a.m.,
Yes.
whatever. So like he's probably
Yeah.
not watching the beginning of those.
Yeah.
But he's a lot more likely to watch or at least watch parts of the morning ones as opposed to like the late ones where he's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's starting at like
Midnight.
11 or midnight. He's like, ain't no way. I'll
The
have to
Vegas
watch
one's
that.
always
Yeah.
so hard, and they're finally moving it back though to 10 p.m. Central. So
Oh.
8 p.m. for y'all,
Yeah,
which is
great.
great. And so because we were like, I mean, the past 2 years have been awful for Vegas because it starts at like midnight, and we're like, oh my God, this is hard. It's hard to stay up for that. But like, yeah, waking up for like 6 is like, oh, this is easy. We're going to work. Like it's like normal.
Have you and Henry ever been to a race in person?
No, we want to. We want to. I went to the Circuit of the Americas track in Austin, and
Yeah.
it's so cool. And it's super steep, like the hill that they go up. And so it's fun to see. But I want to go to a race, but we would need to go to a European one because they're cheaper than they are the ones here in America.
Cody went to the Circuit of the Americas in Austin.
Really?
Yeah,
Did he love
went
it?
Yeah, he went a couple years ago. It was the first year we moved here.
Oh,
So I don't remember what month that race is, but That's
Yeah,
when he
it's
went. So that was like
typically like
2022.
October.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like October 2022. That's when he
That's
went.
awesome.
Yeah, it was him and a couple of his friends had gone. They loved it. They
Oh,
said it was great. He said it was really freaking hot, which obviously
yeah.
it's
It's
Austin,
Texas.
so
Yeah.
it's Texas. But yeah, he said it
That's
was awesome.
awesome. Wow. And that's a cool it's a cool place because it's like it's really great for like Indy and NASCAR down there. Just because like the way that it's like right outside of like downtown Austin. And so it's like you're further away from hotels and everything, but like the environment once you get there is like, oh my God, it's like a festival in
Mm,
itself there.
that's
So that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm jealous that he got to go to that. I want to go to Vegas, but who knows?
You'll get there one day. I
One
believe
day.
in you.
One day. Yep.
Um, I don't know. Do you have any other big
No.
sports news highlights? Anything?
No, other than March Madness coming up, F1 coming up. I mean, at the combine happened,
Oh, that's
which was
right.
really
The
cool to see.
combine.
Yep,
Yes.
that was cool to see.
I was seeing. I was didn't keep up with it a ton, but I knew, like Ollie Gordon was
Hmm.
in it.
Yep.
From Oklahoma State, Brashard Smith from SMU was going in it, and then Ulysses Bentley, who used to play at SMU, is now at Ole Miss. He was there, and it was funny because they, three running backs. So we're like, oh, keep it up a little bit. Let's see how they do. Ollie Gordon, second slowest 40.
4.6. Yep.
Ulysses Bentley, slowest 40. And
Yep.
then Brashard Smith, I think, was third fastest, which shout
Which
out
is
to him.
great. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was funny. It was like, oh, the three names I know,
Hmm.
one of them I actually know the person, the slowest ones.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you're still at the combine.
Yeah.
Like, you're still going to be
Still
so much
amazing.
faster than, like,
And
a lot of other people.
you're still probably going to get drafted.
Yeah,
Which like
exactly.
Ollie will for sure get drafted. Hey, the thing about Ollie though is that I know a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Oh, it's a 4.6 40," but like at the same time, Ollie's never been fast.
No.
He's a big back. He's a heavy back. He's like a
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. So it's like he
He,
just can't.
yeah, for sure. He's one of those people where you're not, like, you don't love him because of his, like, crazy speed. You
Hmm.
love him because he powers through people, because he's
Exactly.
shifty. He
Yep.
can make the moves on
He's
people.
like a
But he's like,
Jalen Warren, like
yeah,
Jalen Warren was always like fast right off the sprint, like go. But like he's like a mix of like Justice Hill and Jalen Warren, where once he gets into open field, he can go, but he's not going to be as fast as like a Jalen Warren than he is like a Justice. He's more like a Justice Hill, like a bruiser.
hmm,
So yeah, it'll be exciting to see though.
interested to see.
And then the quarterbacks were they're kind of popping off with what's called Jackson Dart.
Oh yeah,
And then you had I'm trying to think who was the other one that I saw that I was like, oh, Cam Ward was like practicing with his wide
Cam Ward.
receiver for a bit. But yeah, so it'll be fun to see how the draft actually unfolds.
Yeah, that's in, when is that?
It's in April.
April.
Yep.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
April.
we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how many people from each school were, like, at the combine. So it
Hmm.
was like, oh, SMU, 3 people.
Yep.
Oh, Oklahoma State, just like a few people. And then you
Hmm.
get other teams where it's like 20 people. You're like,
Bama,
oh.
everyone.
I was surprised at how many from Ole Miss were there.
There was a
like,
lot.
I think there was at least 10. I was
Yes.
like, oh, wow.
There was a lot on both offense and defense. I was
Mhm.
like, damn, they're about to lose a lot of people. But they had a good team. They had a lot of good recruits too. But yeah, and Bama always has a lot. And
Sure.
Notre Dame.
Georgia.
Yep, Georgia. Texas had a few. They had the fastest wide receiver, Golden, but they had a lot of people too. So
Yeah, I saw there was, I think it was a Texas running back maybe who was like, I'm going to beat Xavier Worthy's time. He didn't. But
yeah,
and then I saw
like a
Xavier
4.2.
Worthy. Yeah, I saw Xavier Worthy. I don't know if he was the one who officially made the post or if it was the NFL, but it was like, nope, still the 40-yard king. Nobody breaking my record.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, he'll never. It will take a lot to be broken.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, but I'm sure it'll take some
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But yeah, other than
Um,
that, not much
about
going
it.
on. Yeah. So
There was, one other thing, OSU related, of course. They had, I don't know if it was like indoor, I think it might have been indoor nationals for track, and OSU men were 4-time back to back to back to back DMR, distance medley relay champions.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty
Wow.
impressive.
How far is that distance?
So it's 4 guys that will do 4 events. And so I think it's like, I don't know if it's the 800, the mile, 5K, 10K, or if it's something short. But it's like it's 4 distance events that they run, that each person runs once, and you're just kind of like, like you hand the baton off kind of thing.
Oh my God.
But it's for distance events. I'm looking up right now.
So you're telling me like the guy at the end has to wait till all these people.
Hmm.
Wow.
Okay, so it's a 1200, a 400, 800, 1600.
Okay.
So
Yep.
yeah.
So mile.
So
Half-
3 laps, 1 lap, 2 lap, 4 laps.
Yep.
I think that's the
That's
order of it.
crazy.
But yeah.
Wow.
So instead of, you get like 100, 200, whatever you got.
Yeah.
It's more distance ones.
That's exciting. Heck yeah.
So shout out
We're
to
just
them.
so good. Hell yeah.
Shout out OSU.
Hell yeah.
All right. I think that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, we're good
No?
today.
Great.
All right.
If you're listening to this on, I guess it really doesn't matter when you're listening to this, but in the future, we will be uploading now on Mondays. So if you were someone who was listening on Sunday, which I don't think anybody was based on our statistics, most people listen on like Monday or Tuesday. Now we're going to upload so it comes on Mondays, just so we don't have to be as much of a rush to upload it.
Yep.
And then other than that, I think that was the only other update I had.
Yep, that's perfect. Cool. And we'll have some fun people in the next few weeks joining us.
Working on getting some guests, so talk about a few different things in sports, not necessarily always just what is going on this week, but maybe like, getting an inside look at some very specific sports, just talking about sports like in our lives, friends' lives, different things about that. So should be interesting.
Yeah. So excited. Yes, tune in. Alrighty. Hope you all have a great week.
See ya.
Bye.